Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the head baseball coach at Michigan State. That is Jake Boss Jr. How's it going?
Doing well. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about the upcoming year. And I know obviously it's been a challenge to try to get practices done with all the challenging weather that we're dealing with the last few days and today. So what's it been like these past few weeks trying to get ready for the upcoming year?
Well, we're pretty slow this time of year just because of some of the rules that the NCAA have put on us as far as, how many hours a week we get with our guys. And so we're in our 8-hour week right now, which means 4 of those hours can be baseball related and the other 4 are in the weight room. So we'll meet for an hour today, an hour tomorrow, and then on Friday it's full go. And official practice starts Friday. So, guys have worked hard over the winter. We've had a bunch of guys that have gotten themselves healthy, and so it's a fun time of the year right now. Everybody's excited to get it going.
Yeah, so a lot of changes with you guys this year. What's that going to be like? Heading into the year, and also new teams. In the conferences, we welcome 4 teams from the West Coast.
Yeah, well, as far as we're concerned, I mean, I think it's kind of the new normal, in college baseball with the transfer portal and things like that. We have a number of transfers that came in, and I'm excited to see how those guys are going to help us in the spring. I think we're pretty deep on the mound. Excuse me, and so those guys, need to go out and throw strikes and command the strike zone, and we'll be in good shape. I like where we're at up the middle. Our middle infielders are both back. Ryan McKay at second base is, for my money, one of the best second basemen in the country. And Randy Seymour is a special talent and a special athlete, and I think is ready to take the next step. And in the outfield, I think we have a lot of really good options, both with returning guys and some transfers, and some freshmen as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Kind of the same behind the plate. We've got a freshman, we've got a transfer, and we've got a returning guy. And so, we'll see how that all shakes out once we start playing. But there are going to be a lot of guys that get a lot of opportunities, and they're going to need to take advantage of them to stay in the lineup.
Okay, so you kind of just mentioned a few guys to maybe watch, but kind of take us around the diamond and maybe some of the faces that you'll see all around for the Spartans this year.
Yeah, well, first on the mound, Joseph Jurwa is a junior, and he's been named the preseason Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. So Joe's obviously a very talented young man, and should be a pretty high draft pick in this next draft. And so we like our chances on Friday night. At first base, Sam Bush is back, local kid from East Lansing that has all kinds of power. And then we've got a transfer in Will Shannon, who transferred from Hillsdale for his senior year here, and another guy that's all kinds of power. He's right-handed, and Sam is left-handed. And Isaac Sturgis is a freshman who can play first base. He can play in the outfield, and I think Isaac's going to be a special player here too. So, finding at bats for all those guys is going to be important. As I said, up the middle, Ryan McKay and Randy Seymour, I think are both going to take another step in a positive direction this year and really provide a lot of stability for us up the middle. Jacob Anderson slides into third base, for us. He's kind of a utility guy the past couple of years, and he's a guy that will do anything and everything to help the ball club win. So he'll play third base, and Dayton Murphy, I think, will back him up, a freshman from Illinois. But he's Jake's is one of our captains, as well as Sam Bush. So those two guys are unbelievable human beings, great kids, and we're excited to see them take the next step. And in the outfield, Nick Williams is back in left field for us. Parker Pico will probably play right field for us. He's a transfer. He's a Michigan kid who transferred back home from Alabama. In center field, Jake Dresselhaus is a returner. JT Sokolov is a Michigan kid who transferred back for his last year. Both those guys are outstanding defenders, and their speed changes the game. And so it'll be, it'll be interesting to see who ends up winning that battle. Kamari Thomas is a freshman from the Chicago area who's going to be a really dynamic player for us. And then Griffin Brown is a junior college transfer that, is a guy that, again, is going to provide some stability defensively and has a chance to be a pretty dynamic player offensively as well. And then catching, we've got four good catchers that I think, are all going to see the field a lot. Caleb Berry is a transfer from an NAI school in Tennessee with a lot of experience. He's had a lot of success. Noah Bright is a kid that was a junior college transfer and is in his senior year, his second year here at Michigan State, though. Adam Broski's a redshirt freshman. He played a handful of games for us last year before blowing his knee out, and he's back and healthy. And then Christian Williams, probably our fourth catcher, but maybe first in line as a DH because Christian's got all kinds of power and real pretty complete hitter. So again, I like where we're at. We're pretty deep on the mound again. Jirwa is the Friday guy, but between all the transfers and some of the returning guys, we like the guys that we have and ready to go competing for Michigan State.
Yeah. Okay, so the non-conference schedule, what's that going to be like this year as you will start off in North Carolina and Texas and all those places. What's that going to be like as we kick off here in about, I'd say probably less than a month.
Yeah, we're less than a month away. Probably 3 weeks from Friday, I guess, is when we start. But yeah, we'll go to Cary, North Carolina for kind of a round robin 4 game set with Western Michigan, Monmouth, and Dayton. And then the next weekend we go to Corpus Christi, Texas, for a tournament there with Washington State, UCLA, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The third weekend we go to is the first weekend of spring break, and so we'll go to Greenville, South Carolina, a place that we know and love, and we go there every year. But we'll host Harvard the first weekend, and then we'll stay down there, play a midweek game against Western Carolina, and then host our own little round robin with UAB, Michigan State, and Cornell and Winthrop.
Yep.
So a four team deal there. And then Big Ten play starts, and so it's we're off and running pretty quick.
Yeah, so Big Ten play, of course, as I mentioned earlier, new teams coming into the fold. Of course, Oregon comes to East Lansing. I know it'll be exciting to play Waz again. Obviously, of course, he was at Purdue, and then of course you guys go to USC later in the year. What's that going to be like?
Well, it's going to be fun. I think the addition of the four new teams, brings, I think, a little bit maybe more of a national attention to our conference, which I think is a shame because it's something that we should have had a long time ago, in my opinion. We play good baseball in this league. I think it's one of the best leagues in the country. And, when you bring in UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon, that only makes the league better, and so I think we take the talent in our conference up a notch. And it is still a very, very competitive league with talented guys up and down. And so it's going to be a real challenge. We've never played USC. Excited to go out and play those guys. And we've played Oregon both here and there. And so it'll be good to see Waz again. He does a great job out there. And they have both those schools really have talented squads this year and are, projected to do some great things. And, Washington and UCLA obviously have had a lot of success too. So it's, we take a good league and I think we make it even better with those four additions.
Yeah. Okay. So I know obviously with the concerns that everybody has with these four teams coming into the league is just the travel is going to be a lot more because of course you're traveling all the way out to the West Coast. What's that going to be like and how are you going to manage all that? Because it's like, you don't want to take kids away too much from classes and stuff like that. What are the challenges with that?
Well, I think everybody goes west once, and so, for the majority of our league, I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference. We're all playing somewhere warm early anyway.
Right.
So we're used to that. You're used to long trips. We've flown out to Fresno and San Diego and Pepperdine and, UCLA, and we've played out there before. So, that's really nothing new. It is only one weekend, which is good. And it's not necessarily going out there, but it's coming back, which gets tough. You're usually flying back on a red eye. It takes your body a couple days to adjust. And so, when we go to USC, it's late. We purposely did not schedule a midweek game that week after, just to give our guys' bodies a chance to rest and recover and be ready for the next weekend. And so, really, again, I mean, if when you play in the North, you're used to loading up on a bus and driving to the airport and flying somewhere to go play, especially early on. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for us, from a physical standpoint. Obviously, talented teams out there, and so you got to go out there and play well. But logistically, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. Okay, and then just finally, what are these next few weeks going to look like for your team as you guys get ready to go down to North Carolina?
Yeah, well, it's going to be busy. I mean, again, practice starts on Friday. We'll go 6 days a week. Sunday's the off day. At that point, we practice early on Saturday morning. And then obviously Monday through Friday. And so we'll get after it. Our guys are working hard again. We do have our first pitch dinner coming up on February 2nd, which is a Sunday. Which is always a great event. We've got a couple World Series champions coming in, and Dan Petrie and Lance Parrish from the Tigers in '84. Those, the hearing those stories, I think are always it's a lot of fun. It's a great day for our community, and it's selfishly, it's a fun day for me to show my guys off to the public around here. So, we'll get that knocked out a week from Sunday, and then it's just getting arms ready and making sure we're ramping up, and our guys will be ready that first weekend. There's no question about that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Jake, thanks so much for the time as always, and best of luck to the Spartans this upcoming year.
You got it. Thanks, Casey.